LeBron Senior, when they were born, was this a vision you had?
I'm not LeBron James. I'm not going to tell my kids what they have to do. I just want my kids to
Ron Harper showed up to NBA All-Star Weekend to do what any proud father would do: watch his two sons compete, smile for the cameras, and enjoy the moment. That's it. But instead, he casually grabbed a microphone and, without raising his voice, without building suspense, without even changing his expression, took a flamethrower to LeBron James. One sentence. Calm. Direct. Surgical. And the wildest part? He didn't even flinch after saying it.
I'm not LeBron James. I'm not going to tell my kids what they have to do. I just want my kids to play and enjoy the game, and whatever they can get back out the ball game, we will take it. Once upon a time, I told them whatever opportunity that you have, you should have a chance to play in the NBA.
Do you think...
So now the question is simple. Was Ron Harper wrong for that? Or was he absolutely right? The 2026 NBA All-Star Weekend has officially come and gone. There was the dunk contest, the three-point shootout, the All-Star game itself. But none of that is what people are still talking about. The moment that's dominating conversations didn't happen on the court. It happened at a podium. A 55-year-old former champion stood there, relaxed, composed, and dismantled one of the most polarizing superstars in NBA history, effortlessly. Before we dive into what he said and why it hit so hard, we need to understand exactly who Ron Harper is. Because if you're a younger fan, you might hear the name and shrug. That would be a mistake. Ron Harper's resume is quietly ridiculous.
Stoudemire at the free throw line gives it back to Anderson. Ronnie Harper just behind you. And Ronnie Harper takes it away again. Oh, nice move, Harp. Stoudemire. Shake fake, kicks it out. Stoudy with a steal. Looks down the floor. Ronnie Harper inside. Yeah.
Harper played 15 seasons in the NBA. He was never an All-Star. Not once. No All-Star nods. No flashy spotlight. No headline treatment. And yet somehow, he retired with 5 NBA championships. 5. Let that sink in. He was the starting point guard for the second three-peat of the Chicago Bulls from 1996 to 1998. Yes, that dynasty. The Michael Jordan era. The Phil Jackson system. The team immortalized in The Last Dance. Ron Harper was in the starting lineup for all 3 of those championships. That's not a role player sitting at the end of the bench. That's a core piece of a dynasty.
8.
Chicago looks to take the lead in a very low-scoring first quarter. It's Harper on the run. Harper, a great scorer early in his career with the Cavaliers and the Clippers. That's his first point tonight.
Then in 1999, he took a year off. He came back in 2000 and went right back to collecting rings. This time with the Los Angeles Lakers, again under Phil Jackson, playing alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. Back-to-back championships in 2000 and 2001. 5 rings total. No All-Star appearances. That's either one of the most underrated careers in NBA history, or the greatest supporting role ever played. Maybe it's both. And don't get it twisted, Harper could hoop. Early in his career, he averaged over 20 points per game multiple times. He wasn't just a defensive specialist or a locker room guy. He had real offensive game. But when you're surrounded by legends, numbers take a backseat to winning. Most players would make that trade every single time. Fast forward to 2026. Ron Harper isn't in the spotlight because of something he did on the court. He's there because of his sons. The Harper family storyline is actually one of the most interesting in the league right now. His older son, Ron Harper Jr., is currently with the Boston Celtics. He's still carving out his place, already on his 3rd team in 4 seasons, grinding, fighting for minutes, building his career the hard way. And through all of it, Ron Harper is there. Watching. Supporting. Observing. So when he spoke at All-Star Weekend, he wasn't speaking as just another former player chasing attention. He was speaking as a 5-time champion. As someone who has played with Jordan, with Kobe, with Shaq. As someone who understands dynasties from the inside. Which is exactly why what he said about LeBron hits so differently.
Harper gets behind the line, sticks a three. Huge play. And that's good for his confidence.
Ron Harper Jr. is carving out a living in the NBA. He's grinding. He's staying ready. He's bouncing between teams and doing what so many players fight to do: remain in the league. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Not every player is destined to be a superstar. Role players matter. Contenders are built on guys who embrace that job. But then there's the younger son, Dylan Harper, 19 years old. And Dylan Harper is not a role player. Dylan Harper is a problem.
With the second pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Dylan Harper from Rutgers University.
The 19-year-old Dylan Harper out of Rutgers.
The San Antonio Spurs selected Dylan with the second overall pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, right behind Cooper Flagg, who most scouts agreed was the clear-cut #1 prospect. And through the first half of his rookie season, Dylan is already averaging 11 points per game at just 19 years old. That's not average. That's not holding on. That's a strong rookie campaign that suggests his ceiling is very, very high. And don't overlook the bigger picture: the Spurs are rolling. They currently sit near the top of the Western Conference standings, just behind the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they've already beaten OKC 3 times this season. Meanwhile, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been dealing with an oblique injury, and questions remain about how he'll look post-All-Star break. The Spurs? Healthy. Focused. Dangerous. They rebuilt quickly, and Dylan Harper is a major reason why people are paying attention. So when All-Star Weekend arrived, the entire Harper family showed up together: Ron Jr., and Dylan, competing in the Shooting Stars event. It's supposed to be lighthearted, nostalgic, fun. And it was, at first. Dylan didn't hesitate to tease his dad about his performance in the layup portion of the contest. Ron Sr. set a standard, according to his son, and apparently it wasn't a very high one. The kids were joking. The cameras were rolling. Ron Harper was smiling and nodding along. 5 championships will buy you enough confidence to survive a little public roasting from your own children. But then everything shifted. A reporter asked a simple question. When your sons were born, did you always envision them following in your footsteps and making the NBA? Ron Harper paused. For maybe half a second. And then he said, "I'm not LeBron James. I'm not going to tell my kids what they have to do. I just wanted my kids to play." That was it. No raised voice. No dramatic pause. No long explanation. Just a calm, clean sentence. And the room instantly understood. Because when you say "I'm not LeBron James" in 2026, in this context, everyone knows exactly what you're referencing. Let's be fair and clear about the comparison. LeBron James has never hidden his desire to play alongside his son, Bronny James. He spoke openly for years about wanting to share an NBA floor with him. He celebrated that goal. He made it part of his public narrative. Eventually, the Los Angeles Lakers selected Bronny in the second round. And from that moment on, the father-son storyline became historic. Now, here's where things get complicated. Bronny entered the league facing enormous scrutiny. Many scouting reports had him projected much later in the draft. Once he arrived in the NBA, every minute, every shot, every stat line was analyzed under a microscope. That's not an easy position for any young player, especially one carrying one of the most famous names in sports. LeBron, for his part, has said that sharing the floor with his son is the greatest accomplishment of his career. For him, that's personal. That's about family. That's about legacy beyond trophies. And that's a perspective many parents would understand. But when you place that approach next to Ron Harper's philosophy, "I just wanted my kids to play," the contrast is obvious. One father publicly envisioned the outcome. The other emphasized freedom and development. Neither approach is illegal. Neither is immoral. But they are very different. And that's why Harper's comment landed the way it did. LeBron also had another moment during All-Star media availability. When asked about his future and whether he plans to continue playing next season, he responded briefly, saying he just wants to live and take things as they come. It's understandable that constant questions about retirement can get exhausting, especially after more than 2 decades in the spotlight. At the same time, LeBron's career has always embraced the spotlight, the legacy debates, the GOAT conversations, the branding, the celebration of milestones. That visibility is part of what has made him one of the most influential athletes ever. So when questions shift from praise to uncertainty, the reaction inevitably becomes part of the discussion too. That's the territory that comes with greatness. Meanwhile, the Lakers will resume play after the break against the Los Angeles Clippers, led by Kawhi Leonard, who had a strong All-Star showing himself. That matchup will draw attention on its own. But the quote from Ron Harper? That's the moment people are still replaying. Because he didn't rant. He didn't go on a media tour. He didn't call anyone out directly. He answered one question in about 15 words and let the silence do the rest. 5 championships. 2 sons in the NBA. And a philosophy that speaks for itself. Whether you think he was taking a shot or simply stating his values, that's up to you. But one thing is certain. He said it calmly. And everyone heard it loudly.